I'm thinking we're live.
Oh my goodness. Oh, this is amazing.
Let's
Hello,
see if we can see
everyone.
anybody out there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we see you.
Ah, well,
Oh my goodness. Well, I am so excited to be here with the wonderful Amber Weigel Buckley. She is the amazing editor of Leading Hearts magazine. She has talent just dripping out of her fingers. And besides all of that, she loves the Lord with all her heart.
mm,
And Amber, how many years have we been working together?
oh my goodness, Linda, 11 years. Does it seem like 11 years?
No.
I am convinced that that everything is just going by so fast that it's actually 11 years is like 2 days. It just feels like that, right? But it also feels like forever. And I want to introduce our amazing publisher, Linda Evan Shepherd. It's so amazing to have someone who is the boss lady to also be an amazing friend, an amazing lady who is the powerhouse woman of prayer. And I tell you what, she gives prayer. I mean, she puts prayer over everything she does, over all the ladies who are in the Advanced Writers and Speakers Association, over all the ladies who read Leading Hearts. So I want to assure you, listeners, you are well prayed for. So we're having an exciting live today. We have Deborah on the chat today. Hi, Deborah from Georgia. Oh wow,
Deborah, she is here, because she knows that we give away fabulous prizes. And I'm
yes.
going to show one right now. These prizes only go to people. We're over here in Facebook land on Facebook Live, and some of you are watching it at other locations. But for those of you in Facebook land, you get some amazing prizes
Ooh,
today, like this darling little hat. Look how cute that is.
ooh.
Everybody needs that. And we have other things. I'm going to only show you one thing at a time. The
Well,
more people who say hi, the more prizes I'll show. So, Deborah,
yes.
you
Ooh,
are in the running. A sure thing if nobody else says hi.
okay. So, you guys, you got to know it is 9 weeks and 2 days until Christmas. So, you want to get some free stuff. So, get on here, get in, put your comment. We can't see you're there until you put a comment in the conversation. We would love to help you with that extra Christmas shopping.
Yes, I mean, I'll tell you what, I love baseball caps because
Uh-huh.
you can wear them on the plane and you can put them over your eyes and take a dark nap.
Yeah, I like them because, it's like, it protects your hair when you've, not had time to hair wash it.
Now, that is a great benefit of a baseball cap. Just pull your hair in a ponytail, stick it out that back hole, and you're good to go.
You are good to go. You are a rock star. You know, I we just got through dropping a new issue of Leading Hearts magazine. I love it. Every time I have a new issue. Every time we have a new issue, I feel like I just have a new magazine baby. Like, yay! Yay. And it hurt just as much
It's
sometimes.
true. There's a lot of work that goes into an
A
issue.
lot of labor and delivery.
Yeah, there is.
And
There is.
we have some, yeah, just some great contributors to that
Mm.
issue, like our beautiful Leading Hearts cover girl that we're going to talk to in
Ooh.
a few minutes. Her name is Nancy Tupperlane. And you know what, it took me forever not to call her Tupperware, Nancy Tupperware. Sorry, Nancy, because that's the thought that always goes through my head. But we just had such great, powerful stories in this issue about relationships and healing and just serving each other and praying for abused children.
Mhm.
It's just a powerful issue. So if you guys have not gotten it or you've not read it, you need to go over to leadinghearts.com right now and you need to put your information in to sign up for free. It's free. Goodness knows it's free. We're not asking you.
Well,
You
you
are
can
not
pay if
asking.
you want,
You
but Karen, you
can.
don't need to.
You can pay us. We will gladly
We'll
accept
take a
cups.
donation.
Well, I'll gladly accept Starbucks cards
Oh,
as well.
yeah. She works for coffee for sure.
Well, and
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 love.
we also, oh yeah, that's for sure. We
Mm.
also have the chocolate spa edition still up that
Oh.
we are giving away free on that site. So, if you guys have any special, even special things you're doing for your women's group, the chocolate spa issue, it
Mm.
gives you some great spa recipes for masks and goodies. You want to get that. So, Linda, um, what are what are you we have a night coming up tonight, an
Yep.
Arise Esther evening. Tell us a little bit
Evening.
about that.
Oh, I'm so excited about this. Arise Esther Evening is here. And
Mhm,
it starts at, I guess, 7 Eastern Time, 6 Central, 5 Mountain, and 4 Pacific. And what
mhm,
it is, it's just a get together of the women who the Lord is calling for
mhm.
such a time as this. And we have Dr. Debbie Maxey, who's going to be speaking.
Mm,
And I don't know if you know Dr. Deb, but she is a psychotherapist who spent her career standing up for abused children.
yes.
I have to tell you, I really respect her, and she's a very gifted novelist and talented artist. And she's going to be talking about God's love and what's next. And I'm
Yeah.
very excited about that. And then we've got 2 workshops you can choose from. We have Julie Coleman, who's going to be teaching the basics of devotional writing. She says the class title is actually How to Write Great Devotionals.
Wow.
And then we've got Lori Rolleveld, who is going to be talking about being organized in doing all the things that God has called you to do. And she's going to be talking about how she does it. Then we're going to have
Mm,
group prayer time, and we're going to have a really big spin the wheel with bigger prizes than what we're going to be doing today.
yeah.
And it's just going to be a fun time.
Just more Christmas gifts, ladies. Come on out. You still have time. You still have time to register. And you know what? Some of these kind of online conferences, people pay big bucks to go to, right? And
That's right.
Linda, and we give this as a special price
Wow, a special price for those who bring a friend. All you have to
to
do
bring a
is invite a friend. You can't guarantee their attendance because you just can't
yes.
guarantee their attendance. But if you go to ariseesterevening.com and you click on bring a friend, if you put in your name and you put in your friend's name, you get 2 free tickets.
Wow. Isn't that amazing?
Oh, you can
So
pay us if
good.
you want $9.99, but you can come for free.
It's so good to not only be able to go to these events and be ministered to, but to meet with the ladies. And I have had such great prayer time and discussion with the ladies in the small groups. In fact, some of those things have been the most powerful things that I've experienced. And a lot of times we fight loneliness. We stay in our little holes and houses and everything. And I just love the love you feel
Mhm.
when you walk virtually into these small groups. It's just amazing. And as I said, covered in prayer. That's what you feel like.
You know what else? I just think I see Karen Whiting just popped in, and we've got Deb.
Ooh,
Oh, there's some
Karen.
other people we can't quite make out who you are. You're going to have to say hi. If you
Yes.
say hi, then your name's in our drawing. So please, please say hi so that we can get you in our drawing this afternoon. And yeah, so hello there, Karen. Hello there, Deb. It's so good to see you both. And
Yes.
tell us about our special guest who's waiting in the wings today.
Well, Nancy Tepperling is a children's author, and she is such an amazing lady. And had, I have to tell you, she had the most amazing photo shoot for this cover ever. If you want to feel the fall feels, go look at the magazine. She has just beautiful joy of the Lord, but these awesome autumn colors. I love it. She said, I had such fun getting ready for this cover of the magazine. I even took family photos. Getting ready for it because it was everybody was dressed up, and that was just a great time. And she talked about the power of healing words, which I think in the world today right now, we need some healing words, right? It's so important that, I guess, that we give God, we let our tongue kneel at the throne. Yes.
Well, that's a thought. A big one.
Sometimes it's easier for our knees to kneel than our tongues.
Right.
And there's a lot of power that we have in our tongue, and it's for good and for evil. And unfortunately, we can use it in both ways. And I, I have found myself having to bridle my tongue. And I think that, Nancy bringing it to this time and this place was just somewhere. Thank you, Deborah. The thing about it is that's really, the power of our tongues. It's such an amazing thing. And we can speak life into people that every day, every moment we have the power to speak life. Hi, Dr. Velma. Oh, I appreciate you coming on. Her little, she's a cutie pie. And my laugh is contagious.
You know what else you can do with your tongue, Amber?
What?
You can talk to the Lord.
Yes.
That is amazing that you can talk to the Lord and he hears you. I talk to him all day, and it's just a blessing to be able to do that.
Yeah. And it's so great. It is crazy that, we can talk to the Lord, and yet it's like he's there and he hears us and he's with us all the time. And sometimes we neglect that he is present in our his presence is in our present. And just being able to say, oh, God, just help me through this time of this person just breaking heart in front of me. I felt like, saying some choice words. I need to have some taming of my tongue. But just, I
Pray
love
for him.
Pray for him. And I loved how, Linda, you talk about how just developing, just praying with God, just having that ongoing conversation really got you through a lot of the hard times of life. And you realized, okay, you were able to look at prayer in a whole new way.
Well, here's the key to the whole thing. And then I think we better bring Nancy in the room. But the key is that just always knowing and being aware that you are in the presence of God. And that means that no matter what you're going through, you're not alone. And you can say, hey, Jesus, I need some help right now.
Yeah.
And when that lady breaks heart in front of you, you can say, Lord, that lady needs some help right now too.
I love it. Well, I love that we can get some more insight from this lovely lady coming into the room. Nancy, did you hear that I accidentally call you Tupperware?
I love it. You're not the first. I had a 6th grade teacher that was like, you need to find Mr. Ware when you get married so you can be Tupper-Ware.
That is awesome. Well, we were just talking how important it is so important. I loved your article in this new issue. But you are a children's author, and you are very attuned to the power of healing words. How did those things connect with each other? I know that we talked about it in this magazine. Where was your heart when you were feeling, okay, this is something I need to write about?
Yeah. I think often it starts with the reverse, right? Like you said, to feel the pain that we have right now, and with words being flung on social media and elsewhere, and just thinking like, wow, why is this happening, and how devastating it can be to um, individuals and groups when you hear that the horrible things said about you or whatever.
Mhm, mhm.
Um, and so I just started thinking through my life, just how healing they have been, certainly starting with God's word. I was just cracking up back there with you guys. I'm still recovering. You guys, you made me feel so comfortable. Thank you. But yeah, and just in the article I mentioned a few of the beautiful words from God about Proverbs 12:14. Wise words bring many benefits. And I
Mhm.
also had Hebrews 11:3 that says God spoke the world into being by the power of his words.
Mm.
And of course, the word, you know, the Logos, it was there in John 1. Just thinking about how much hope we can get from those words.
Yeah,
Um, and like you said, like how can we pass that on to other people? Since I
yeah,
mean that is what we're called to do. So how
yeah.
can we make a difference with those words, I guess?
It is. It's so true. I feel like, I am amazed. I think it's because we now look at life and other people's lives through glass that we
Mm,
don't. I mean, even more so, the impact of words is kind of, as I said, glassed over, and we that person to person, face to face, you'll say things to people behind glass that you would never say to their face. And
mm,
I and that's hard because you see so many broken relationships over harsh words spoken in an online setting.
mm,
Wow.
mhm.
Wow. And I think that whole thing, this whole mindset has kind of changed my perspective on how much more grace I need to have towards even people that I know and love, which is I mean, sometimes it's hard. I
Mhm.
mean, sometimes it's really hard because you
Yeah.
can end up losing a friend for life based on what they
Mm.
say in the comments section.
Yes.
Or
Yes.
how do you I mean, I know this is how do you approach conversations that are tough, maybe you disagree with, or not ruining a relationship because all of a sudden or somebody said something. Oh,
I'm waving at Lauren. Hey, Lauren.
no, but Nancy, kind of give us some insight on what your thoughts are on that.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely we in the article we talked about being ghosted too, which is
Yeah.
almost the reverse, where you're nobody says anything, and then you're, oh, where'd they
Yeah.
all go? But I mean, I'm not an expert. Obviously, I'm just writing from my heart.
Yes,
um,
exactly.
but I do think, I mean, obviously praying first for those words, and for me, I have to write it out, my thoughts first, how I'm going to say something because I'm not as good on my feet. But I do
Mhm.
think, don't send it through email or what, it's better face to face.
There yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean,
When I
like you
was
said,
younger, I
daily.
used to write these long responses to people that were just, painstaking, trying to spin myself. And then I would delete them before I sent them.
Hmm.
Right?
Now I don't even write them. I just
No.
say, Lord, just give them grace.
Aw,
You I don't know, ladies, whoever is out there, do you guys ever like write something down and it feels angry? You kind of have to spill it on the piece of paper or type it down and just kind of sit on it and just like, okay, is this worth dying on a hill for?
mm,
I don't know if you guys do it. Sometimes I have to do it a lot because I don't know. Sometimes words, especially if they're directed towards me and they feel like the old, what is it, Anne of Avonlea said to Priscilla, you're full of prickles and stings, and we need to be careful of that in our language. But so I think when I start crafting things that I need to get my honest emotions on about it, then I have to look at it and say, would I personally receive this well? Is it a teachable moment, or is it full of prickles and stings that could cut and destroy? Or what is the purpose of me responding in this way? Yeah, you can. Somebody may say a stupid comment. Do you need to really reinforce the stupidness of the comment?
I know.
Yeah.
Hey, shine the light right here.
I know. I'm dealing with that on one of my social media accounts right now.
What do you do with it, Linda? What do you do when
Well,
people
I
really
just
say,
I just saw that the person misunderstood my comment and made a very negative remark.
Mhm.
And I thought, well, do I delete it? Do I leave it? Do I correct the person?
Mm.
I decided just to pray for the person and just take it for what it was worth. It's really not that big of a deal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so true. It is true.
Just
And-
Amber had
Yeah.
asked about my writing too. It's kind of interesting because I started as a poet, and
Uh-huh.
one poem that ended up getting a big prize came from this hurt. I didn't even write about this, but in the article, but it was a broken friendship basically, and it was called White Birch. And I wrote it. I mean, it just came to me like just so fast. And it doesn't even sound like it's about a friendship. It's about this white birch tree in the woods, and but
Mhm.
there's a hurt there, And anyway, it ended up winning out of 18,000 entries this Writer's Digest prize. And
Wow.
so sometimes you can write things, that help with your
Mhm.
healing, obviously. But the best part for me was I don't even think my friend knew that poem ended up getting recognized. But years later, because of prayer, she came back to me and asked if there could be, a resolution and a healing. And so I think,
Wow.
we don't realize, that sort of launched my writing career too. That
That's
pain,
amazing.
that horrible pain that I didn't want to go through. But,
Wow.
I think it happened for a reason, and God used it, and eventually there was healing in our friendship too. So,
Yeah.
but it doesn't
I know.
always work that way. But
I know that Linda, we talk a lot about, especially writing memoir, things that we walk
Oh,
through.
yeah.
And um, a lot of people have walked through a lot of painful things. And yet, you have to get to even a place in that part. One of the ladies I know, I don't even know who, I forgot who said this. She said, you have to even give honor to the people in your story who hurt you.
Mhm, mhm.
Wow. Wow. And
Not
it's
today,
like,
maybe not today, but
do you feel like, could you do that? Would it be possible? And sometimes we have to give ourselves time to
Mhm,
be able
Mhm.
to uh, let God heal those. And I'm not saying that when people write, they'll be completely healed of all the prickles. But I'm saying, what is the motive in saying these things? Are we trying to create more hurt, or are we trying to be a balm of healing? Are we trying to exasperate or anything like that? Because I do know, but when you think about giving honor to the people in your story, even those who hurt you. Wow.
mm,
Mhm.
So that's
Well,
a powerful thing.
I just saw a wonderful movie last night called Sight from
Mm.
Angel Studios
Oh.
about a Chinese doctor who had all
mm,
of these ghosts that haunted him to
Mm.
the point where he was almost not able to go on to
Mhm.
do the sight-saving surgery of this young woman, this young girl. And a friend of his stopped him, and I'm going to misquote the quote, but she says something like, consider that you are here on this path because of what you've been through.
Mm.
And when I
So
think, when I thought about that, and then I thought of a time when someone used some words to hurt me, and it did hurt me, but it put me on a point of rising above it
Right.
and being a more loving person and a more forgiving person.
Right.
And
So good.
so if I hadn't had that hurt, I wouldn't have had the chance to grow and to
Mm,
be where I am right now. What do you
so
think,
true.
Nancy?
It's so true. I think I'm thinking of generations too. Like, we tend to say like we get wiser as we get older, but um in the article too, I mentioned how my youngest daughter, she's back home. She just graduated and she's working remotely. But I went into her room the other day and I saw she has a prayer wall, which is how cool that she has a prayer wall. And on the wall was a note that I had written in her junior year of high school. And I thought, oh, I wonder like why she has my note there. And I'm reading it, and I thought it's not even just my words. It was that this conflict had happened between us, but that I had asked for forgiveness, and then I had also said, I just see how God's using you mightily, and the person you're going to become, and that is still on her wall because she needed to hear that. But I think, wow, it's not just, she has that wisdom now at her age at 22 to treasure something that was healing and forgiving.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's cool that it's not just, I've learned so much as an older person that people who are young are amazing in what they're learning about words too. So
Yeah.
give credit to them.
I really see a lot of how we can hold the things that are said that have hurt us very close. And I really loved I heard a pastor say every day before the end of the day, before he steps into the house, he has a tree that he would pray, God, everything that I've taken in today, or the words of my mouth that I have spoken, let pull those to mind, and let me realize those people I need to ask forgiveness from, and let me lay those words that have been spoken over me at this tree before I walk into my home.
Mm,
And I just thought that was such a powerful, I don't know, powerful practice. We never know how much of that we are carrying into our home, into our interactions with even those who we love the most, because sometimes we allow the words spoken over us to hit hard and fast like bullets against the people we love the most, because they're the ones that take the fire, I think,
mhm, mhm.
and we really have to be careful about how those things that have been built up in our day even get let out, because we do need healing from that. We do need healing from the hurt words every day, because we experience that.
So true. Now I need to find a tree.
I think one of the things about words that hurt us,
Mhm.
and words where we're right and they're clearly very wrong.
Right.
And how are you going to just hold on to being right? Or are
Mhm.
you going to embrace love? Because there are ways that you can reconnect without saying, boy, you were right about that. I was just a dummy. You don't have to say that. You can just
Mhm.
say, hey, we disagreed, but I just want you to know I still love you. And can we
Yeah.
just move on?
Right.
Mhm.
Well, when you think about it, did God just embrace what was right, or did he move to the position of love and
Mhm.
grace
Yeah.
and forgiveness?
He
Wow.
embraced us while we were still sinners.
And that must be, I mean, if we can do that, we can we can remove a lot of we can lay down a lot of heavy that
Mhm.
we carry. It's like, are you willing to make your life more heavy by carrying the negative words into your day that people spoke over you? When
Mhm.
you can just like God does, God, just, you know, pour your spirit over me and lighten my hands from anything anybody might have spoken over me today. And
So
I
nice.
think that's a really a good place to be, because I get those moments all the time. And a lot of times we, zip our lips because we know we're not supposed to say anything, but that tension, that angst is still there, and it comes to us in the middle of the night and kind of digs at the back of our mind. And that, healthy. That's not necessarily a healthy place to be.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
but I love that we can, um, as vessels of God's love, we have the awesome ability to speak his healing word. God gives us
Mhm.
his word, that he
Mm.
it's not only a weapon, but it's the oil balm of healing that we can speak into people's lives. Isn't that amazing?
And I'm going to take just a quick moment to say, hey, if you're in the room and you haven't said hello, you're not in the drawing. And I see a few more people have dropped in. I see, who did I just see? I see Annie and Lauren. And there were a
Mhm.
couple of other people I saw. Now I don't see them, but welcome, welcome. We are glad that you are here. And I just want to add to that. We need to be saying kind words to one another. I was in an airport and I ran into a friend in
Mhm.
the airport in a faraway place.
Mhm.
Mm.
And she told me all of these negative words that had been dumped on her.
Wow.
They were just awful, terrible, terrible, heartbreaking words. And I took that opportunity to say, that is not who you are. You
So
are
good.
loved by God. He has a purpose for your life. You are beautiful. You are not stupid.
Mm.
You are very bright because you have the wisdom of the Lord.
Yeah,
And we can even say those kinds of words to ourselves when
right,
people hurt our feelings. That
right.
is not who we are. Maybe we made a mistake or maybe somebody was just rude.
Yeah,
That is not who we are. We are
yeah,
beloved of the Lord. And
yeah,
that's what we need to hold on to, not
yeah.
somebody's random word.
Mm.
Exactly. I
Mhm.
know, I struggled, my husband, kind of shakes me into reality when I say this, but one thing I always have struggled with is saying, "I feel like I'm failing. I feel
Mm.
like I'm failing." And he'll just quickly say, "Well, who's saying that to you?
Mm.
Who's saying that you're failing?" And,
Mhm.
we know where those thoughts come from, and they do not come from the Lord. Um, and in that, I think a lot of times in those moments and stuff, I've received random texts from people. I just want to know, I'm thinking of you. I'm praying for you.
Mm.
I just love you. So sometimes those moments where I'm feeling the worst, those words come in randomly. And you know where those come from too.
Mm.
God sees you, he hears you, he knows you, he loves you. Those are those knocks on the doors. And sometimes God is kind of pushing. Have you ever had a time where you felt God is pushing you to text somebody to
Yeah.
to give them an encouraging word?
Totally. I have.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think part of my job previously was an outreach librarian for a public library. So part of my job was to reach out to those that couldn't get to the library. But I started thinking, like, how can I ramp this up a little bit too? Like reach out to
Mhm.
people that are by themselves and don't see anyone for the whole day. So just leaving a little note along with their books or whatever, and just texting them now and then. I think that's, and certainly outside of the job too. Like who needs to have a little, reassurance, like you said, or a little boost today, or a verse from the Bible to, or even on occasion, maybe send $5 to somebody for like,
Yeah.
hey, go get
Yeah.
your Starbucks or whatever. I
Yeah.
mean,
Go
I
get
just
your
think,
coffee.
yes, I think like it's the art of observation, right? That as a writer, I feel like that's important to all of us who are writers. We notice things that other people don't notice. And I think as Christians, that's our job too, to notice who is lonely, who needs that word today.
Mhm.
But it means that you do have to, shift
Stop.
your gaze and stop a little bit, right? Go
Yeah.
away from your to-do list, which is really
Yeah.
hard for some of us.
Yeah. And we are, we have a very big power to of ministering God's healing words. As I said, it does take stopping. I have to remind myself to stop. I have to remind myself that maybe getting my laundry done isn't as important as making a phone call to someone I haven't talked to in a while. Um, and it's I have to be mindful. I have to be shifted to mindfulness to get into that. And sometimes that's hard and challenging with the pace of life
Mm.
to do that.
Especially
So
when there a big talker on the other end of the line, and you're like, couldn't I just send a 5,
Little
word?
text.
Yeah,
two words.
exactly.
Two
Like,
words.
this is gonna take an hour at
Thinking of
least.
you.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll send you a GIF. I'll send you a GIF.
Exactly. Yeah,
But
that's hard.
You know what I've discovered is if you operate on interrupt mode, meaning, God, you can interrupt me to do what you want me to do, what you really want me to do,
Mhm.
then there's always time to finish what you wanted to do.
Right. So good.
So true.
good.
I'm just
We have
doing that study in Jonah. Sorry, talking too much.
no, go ahead. Talk about. I want to hear this.
That's the Priscilla Shire lesson on Jonah, but it's all about interrupting, because that's what God was trying to do with Jonah, like, so
I'm
I'm
going
trying
one
to,
way.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it's I've been watching the comments. Stacy Sanchez says speaking the truth in love is not only about speaking truth to someone else, but to ourselves as well. So true.
Mhm.
Deborah, we never know what someone is going through and needs a kind, encouraging word. And Dr. Velma, yes, she talks about receiving those prompts all the time. We have to be sensitive to the needs of, not only to God, but the needs of others. And that's what we've kind of circled around. And being aware of what kind of words are, if you could say every time your gas tank is full, every time that you say something negative or feels that it goes down like this, but God, God can refill that. And but how far does your tank go empty in the day before you allow God to bring you back to the fullness that he has for you? And that's in your words and others' words, just that mindfulness and just letting those words of encouragement spill out and impact other people's lives.
Yeah,
So
that's excellent. I'm taking notes, Amber.
Oh, and since we have a sudden lull in the conversation, have you said hello to us yet? I see
Yeah.
Stacy is in the room. She was the one I missed. And I know I'm looking. There's some other people who haven't said hi yet. Come on in and say hi to us. And you'll be in our drawing. And maybe you'll win this beautiful hat. I mean, don't you want this darling little hat?
That is so cute.
Everybody you care, right on your forehead.
Yes, exactly.
And the other prize is up. It's this cute little bag. You just unfold it out of your purse, and you've got a grocery bag or a bag to haul in whatever you need. And then I'm going to pull out yet another gift. I've got a coin purse, and I promise I will put a quarter in it. Money to whoever wins this little purse. So
Yes.
say hi. Say hi. Right now, we have enough people to qualify for 2 prizes, but what about the coin purse? Somebody
Yes.
needs that quarter, y'all.
Yeah. Yeah. We need a. So funny. I remember when I used to save up quarters because that was the only thing you could do to have laundry at college. Like you had to
Oh,
buy
yeah.
those huge quarters. Yeah, that's something. That's a value. Actually, that's becoming an antique.
Yeah. Now you just swipe it.
Yeah, you want to.
Aw.
Yeah, that's quarters are important.
I could always
Great.
talk my dad out of a quarter at the Piggly Wigglies
Oh my
for a
goodness.
Whoa.
golden book, the golden picture book. And let's
Oh.
talk about children's books, Nancy. Tell us a
Yes.
little bit about what you have shining behind you.
Thank you. Yeah, so I started writing poetry, but then when I won that big prize, part of the prize was to go to New York City to meet an editor. So I thought it was a lot harder to sell a children's story than my poetry at that point. So that's when I really started concentrating on picture books. I will share this one in particular that you kindly advertised too is One Perfect Plan is the Bible told through short little poems.
Oh,
So you
wow.
can sort of um, all through one thing because I was thinking one drop, it says, then two, water floods the land. When the rain stops, God's promise stands. So each story of
Oh,
goes through the whole story of redemption through one thing, one event. And the idea came to me after an Easter service, and I was thinking how one rock, moved away is, proof of the
Mm,
resurrection that we believe in,
wow.
and how powerful that one event was. This is it, one empty tomb.
that
The
would be
stone
great for a women's devotional in front of your church group.
That would
that
be really great. Oh, I
that would
love
be
that.
fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
so, but this is my first book that was really through a Christian publisher, and it sat in my drawer for so many years because everyone said it would be too hard to sell. So I actually came about that the roundabout way. I started with a story about a young girl who had Down syndrome based on my best friend's daughter. It's called My Sister Alicia May. That was my first book. And my friend just told me that, oh, thank you. My friend told me that there were no books out there that weren't kind of more didactic. They said, oh, this is what Down syndrome is, and this is how,
Mhm.
you should expect your child to behave, but nothing that just showed a child just being a 6-year-old in so many ways. And I think, that story was my first one and still the one that's most on my heart because it reached the community I wanted it to reach.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
um,
Wow.
and then the last one that is coming out this December, probably, um, is called Hearts in My Pocket, and it's actually a story about a child dealing with divorce that came from a poem I wrote, and then it went into a story. Um, and it's a hard thing. I mean, certainly don't want families to be getting divorced, but it's just, for a child who's going now between two homes, the idea is to hold that love of each parent, somehow in your heart, and to know that the love is still there. Certainly, the love of God is still there, right? So,
Yeah.
anyway, that's sort of the progression of. I
That's
also
that's so interesting. When you wrote those poems, did you have any idea that those would be the seeds that would build into these bigger things?
no. No, and I always like when I talk to young students, I'm always, say write everything and anything because you don't know where it's going to take you. Like one short story could lead to a novel, one memoir like you're doing, could lead to a film. Who knows? I mean, all these things, I just feel like, um,
Yeah.
you never know where God's going to take your words. So,
Yeah, that's so
yeah.
true. So very true. Oh, Linda, do you have any updates for the for the for everyone who needs to get into this drawing?
Yes, I have two updates, and then we're going to go right to the drawing. So I'm putting everybody on notice. If you haven't said hello yet, please do right now, because Rebecca cannot wait to type your name into the drawing. And up right now, if I get one more person, I'm going to open the third gift. But we've got this darling hat where you can show you that you care right on your forehead. And then we've got this cute little bag that unfolds that you can stick it in your purse and have it handy at the checkout, so you can cart your loot out to your car. And if one more person says hello, we've got this quarter inside of this cute little purse. It's cash, y'all. You definitely want to win it. So while you are typing, I just want to say, please come to Arise Esther Evening tonight. You can go to ariseesterevening.com, and we are going to have a wonderful program for anyone who wants to come and join us. We've got Dr. Deborah Maxey, who's going to be speaking. We've got some wonderful classes that we have. Lori Rolaville is going to be talking about organizing so that you can get everything that God has called you to get done. We've got Julie Coleman talking about writing powerful devotionals. We've got prayer time. We've got worship with Sharon Tedford. Hey, we got it all. And it only costs $9.99. But if you bring a friend, you both get to come for free. And all you have to do is go to ariseesterevening.com, and Stacy will be there. We have her word.
Stacey.
And I can't wait to see you tonight, Stacy. So, Rebecca, are you ready to spin that wheel?
I am. So,
first up, I think we'll do our handy dandy little purse. And we didn't get that last person in, so we will save the cash prize for a rainy day. Here we go. Who is it? Stacy. You won one of these before. Stacy, you can't have too many of these. So here you go. This is a real cute one. And next up, we have the hat that shows you care. Who is going to win our adorable light tan or taupe hat?
Let's see.
Is that it? Lauren. No, I'm sorry, Lauren. My mistake. She had a heart attack there. Maybe you'll still win. Maybe. It's Velma. Velma, you will look so cute in your heart hat.
Yes,
Lauren, maybe next time. Sorry I called your name out improperly. Sorry about that. Come back, because with this giant crowd here, you never know when you might actually win.
Yes, and you can win tonight.
Yeah, that's true.
You can win tonight.
We have more prizes tonight. In fact, I'm looking to see if I have any of them. Nope, I have them all ready to be photographed because I photographed them. But I have Cindy McDowell's new book. Her publisher sent me 2 of them, and that's going to be in the drawing tonight. And those of you who know Cindy before she left for heaven, just a wonderful woman of the Lord, and her new devotional is beautiful. And so we're going to be giving that out tonight, along with some beautiful embroidered tote bags, some big ones that are just bright and colorful with beautiful, beautiful embroidery, and many other prizes. So be sure and tune in to ariseesterevening.com, and Stacy and I and the rest hope to see you there.
And I want to remind, before we head out from this live, please go get the new issue of Leading Hearts. Go to leadinghearts.com, sign up for the free magazine, and you can also get that free issue, the chocolate spa issue. You want to go there right now and do it.
It is gorgeous. So be sure and grab your copy. We don't charge anything for it. It's administered to you. So be sure and grab your copy. And this is a great thing that you can give to everybody, every woman in your women's group. So you can just be the person who shares. So
yes, the encouraging word.
Yes.
Yep. Well, Thank you guys for being with us. And I've enjoyed talking to you, Nancy. Why
Thank
don't
you
Yes.
so
just
much.
let people know where they can connect with you and
Thank you. I would love to connect. It's just my full name, which is not Tupperware. It's Nancy Tupper Ling, LING.com. NancyTupperling.com. That would be great. I would
The
love to
ling
connect with
has a
you.
ring to
It
it.
is a ring.
Yay!
You know, it sounds like a little Tupper. Tupperling.
Well, take care, everyone. It's good to see you, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you, Nancy. Thank you
Thank
all.
you for
Thank
having
you.
me.